Okay guys, now I'm going to tell you how I built this thing so you guys can do the same thing. Things take a lot longer when you're trying to figure out something than when you already have a roadmap. It makes it so much easier. So I'm going to go through the process. This right here, you plug this right here, but first of all let me say you have to use submersible fuel line. This right here is Gates. For some reason, like, these two hoses are different. This one's a lot less flexible. This Gates one's a lot more flexible. I think this one was from, like, I bought this like 8 years ago. They have actual dates on them, but this one I knew I was going to do a turbo project in the future, so I ended up buying one, and then I ended up needing another one. So you're going to need two 1-foot hoses. I don't have measuring tape, so I can't tell you what size. Right here, it doesn't matter what size, what length it is. You can make it any length. But I plugged this up with a flat bolt. There's no threads on this bolt. I just got one from the hardware store and cut it, and it goes to about here. You're going to need 3/8 fuel clamps. Do not use the worm gear ones. Like, I'll show you. That's a worm gear clamp. Do not use those on the fuel lines, or they will actually come off on you. They will. Okay, so this is how I have this part done. This right here is my feed. This is feeding into there. I showed you guys that on the last video. That goes down and tees off into a 3/8 90-degree elbow, and it fits in here exactly like stock. I have the GTR fuel pump. The everything is basically like stock, so I just hooked up a hose here. Everything bolts in. That's all good. Okay, now that you see the feed line, this is my return. That's the return right here to another 3/8 90-degree brass elbow. Same thing. Boom. In here, right here. I'll give you the dimension on here. This right here actually cut a little bit out right here, just like as a rectangle. I have a little bit cut out as a rectangle. This right here, because this line is not very flexible, and I've had people tell me that this part, you know, pops off, and you don't want any of that. You'll run out of gas if this part pops off. So what you want to do is you just want to put a small worm gear clamp on there and just lightly put it on there, because there's a locking tab, just so that it doesn't fall off or move around, just for peace of mind. And then kind of hammer that in slightly with maybe like a screwdriver or something, very lightly, because this is plastic. Otherwise, let me turn it. Otherwise, yeah, see it. You have to have this laying flat on the gas tank, and you can see it's like perfectly flat. Just tap it a little bit and make it flat right here, and you'll be good. But yeah, you can see how I enlarged this slightly. This with the upgraded fuel pump, this hole right here is going to be inadequate. You want to take and be careful, because this is not very deep at all. Not at all. You take a 1/8 inch drill bit, and you lightly grind it out. I actually had to heat the tip up a little bit and just push this in just to get it aligned perfectly, so I didn't destroy this little straw looking lip right here. If you don't do this, your fuel pressure will probably be stuck at around 60, no matter how much you adjust your fuel pressure regulator. This has no fuel pressure regulator. I bypassed it because I'm using an Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator. So yeah, just enlarge that to 1/8, and you should be able to drop it to about 50 psi. If not, you might have to go a little bit bigger than 1/8. I mean, there's other ways of making jets, but this was the easiest for me. Another thing I will mention is to get these lines on, just get like a oil container and put it in like a little cap, and then get a Q-tip and just dab the oil in there, and go into the line with the Q-tip and line it up and lube it up. And then the same thing with the barb here, just lube up the barb. It will make your life so much easier. And if you're adjusting this fuel line, because this actual, it's kind of hard to explain, but let me do it. I have to move this over just a little bit to get it to go down because this fuel line's hard. But yeah, it's going to be sitting, you know, perfectly 90 degree in the gas tank like this, flat 90 degree. So these lines have to be a little bit longer, and because everything's plastic, oh yeah, do not over torque these, just tighten them down. I actually use a ratchet instead of a screwdriver right until they stop, just right until they get snug, and then just stop. But yeah, for this right here, I actually yeah, just lube up the lines in here, lube up the barbs so you can get everything measured and then put everything back. But yeah, when you put the gas tank in, you're gonna have to go forward to try to, you know, get this thing to go in. Mine isn't gonna go 100. Mine doesn't go 100% all the way forward. It kind of stops like at 90% of the way, but I'll make it work. And then for me, I have to push this hose over to get it to lock, and then we're good. I was gonna mention one more thing. Oh yeah, right here, this hose won't fit flush. This doesn't affect anything right here. There's just a lip. You're gonna have to grind that off. So before you put this together, you don't want plastic shavings all on this crap to get caught in your fuel filter. It's just better to make sure everything's clean the first time. So what you will do, I didn't have that option. I had to put a plastic bag over this, grind it off, and then wash this all off with soapy Dawn. I put Dawn on it, soapy water in the sink. But yeah, grind this off so that it lays flat. It's gonna look exactly like this. This has a locking tab. Do not mess with this. This is your fuel float right here. If you mess with this, it won't lock in. Yeah, this right here doesn't affect anything. So grind that off right there, and then this will fit flush. Otherwise, it's going to be all wonky, and it's actually going to mess with the direction that the fuel flows back into the return. It'll be down or up. It'll just be all wonky, so you don't want that. I think that pretty much covers everything. Yeah, this is all going to be 3/8 except for this little bit right here. This is 5/16, but I put a clamp on it and it's fine with 3/8. This is your return. There's not really any pressure going through here, so this isn't as important as the actual feed line is. So you don't need to do anything here. Just tighten it and you're good. And this is going to go in the tank, and I'll start doing the rest of the process and show you how it works. But just the hanger and this whole fuel pump and doing the return and all this, it's a whole project in itself. But once you have it, you can go to the next step. So I will show you guys in the next video how to do this.